On the move, those knees are walking. But what are our main goals with the garden, and scheduling it out week by week throughout the whole year. And that's been really eye-opening to say, not just to think, oh wow, there's a lot of work that goes into that garden planning, but also, as Bridget can attest. Well, hello, Bridgie Rose. What do we want to talk about today? Well, apparently we want to get down and run around. But today we wanted to talk about garden planning, something that we have been not so keen on doing in the past, but this year is certainly going to be the year that we focus in on garden planning really good. Reason being, well, for one thing, we put in recently our hoop house, which is planted out. Some things grow a little better than others. Transplants were a little older, but when you put in something like a hoop house, it is expensive, which means that you want to maximize the used space. You want to maximize your square footage. Dollar cost. Figuring how much dollars you're spending to grow something in here is a lot more drastic than, say, just outside. And so we really wanted to focus on maximizing what we can grow in here when we're transferring things over. And also, I've been habitually bad about, and Bridgie, you can probably attest. Why don't you come here? Oh, that's probably weird of you. You can attest that in the past we have grown fun things, but last year we really honed in on growing things to eat, on growing specific crops that we wanted to eat, that we wanted to have to save, like tomatoes to put up for sauce, or peppers for pickling, different things, that sort of sweet potatoes for storing all winter. And so when that is the worry, you really want to plan to maximize your space. If you just want to grow a few things here or there, that's something. And also, without planning, you find yourself, like we have, is to say, oh, I don't have the space, so I better make a new plot, or I better grow the garden, or we have to do this or that. And that sounds great until you've got a huge garden and none of it is being managed effectively. And essentially what you have is just a bunch of space to worry about that's just not being very well utilized. And so for us, the goal this year, and Dr. Miller and I sat down 2 nights ago, was to sit down and say, what are our main goals? You can see Bridgie on the move, those knees are walking. But what are our main goals with the garden, and scheduling it out week by week throughout the whole year. And that's been really eye-opening to say, not just to think, oh wow, there's a lot of work that goes into that garden planning, but also, as Bridget can attest, how much more you can get in. Now, you want to make sure you're using somewhat conservative days to maturity and really giving yourself a little bit of leeway, but a full garden plan, taking into account 3 full seasons. You've got a great spring, summer, and fall, and understanding when that spring really starts, not just when your last frost date, but when can you get things in the ground, when can you get things started, and then you can start planning backwards and forwards to what you can get into a rotation, what you can succession plant in there. And so one thing, we talked about, Bridget and I did, well, what was it, Bridge? I think it was 3 or 4 days ago, we had talked about getting out in the garden, because you can't do anything if you're just staying inside. So get out in the garden, that's our first thing. But then now it's to plan. Nothing really successful happens without a good plan. And so for us, the garden can sometimes be fun, and there are certainly just fun areas. Oh, yucky hands. Well, not yucky, but I don't want to put them in my mouth. The garden can certainly be fun sometimes, where you just, oh, I want to throw this in here or there. But if you're talking about feeding your family like we're doing, on a scale that is under half an acre, then you really have to plan. You've really got to get your successions down. And you've got to understand that you're not going to be able to grow everything, but you can grow a lot of things. And you can grow a few things, or a little of a lot of things, or somewhere in between. And we're definitely trying to be reasonable, and we don't just want to have all the field corn and then just eat grits and corn, corn 3 times a day, or have to. If we want to, we can. But on the other side of things, you don't want to have just enough field corn or popcorn for 1 or 2 dishes, and you say, well, that was fun, but we're not feeding our family with it. So for us, it's a plan. We're planning, aren't we, Bridgie Rose? We certainly are, and we hope that you are too. We love you. We'll see you in another video.